Hello everyone, today we're going to be looking at how to build this 4x4 door. Now I made a different design on a super fast version over here, so if we give it a go, you can see that it is very fast. Now that is a different video. This video is for this door, which is a super compact 4x4 door. I know what you're thinking, it's not the smallest, and I know, but I really like this design for two main reasons. The first of all is that there is no redstone on the hallways. In fact, you don't even need hallways. And what I mean by this is that sometimes when you have your ceiling, you break it and you want to replace it with something, and you realize that you just broke a bunch of redstone. Well, not with this design. Also, it is quite fast actually compared to most 4x4 doors that use this layout. So something else that goes in the fast category is the opening sequence. Both sides are synchronized, and this design is actually symmetrical. I mean, apart from the lever. Anyways, let's get on with the tutorial. So to build this, you are going to want to start off by building the classic piston layout. So it looks something like this, and once you have that built, on this bottom row of pistons, you're going to go 2 blocks down, right? So 1, 2. Break these blocks, and here this is where you are going to power it from. So add some redstone torches on the side, and might as well just place in your lever. Now, if you're going to power this, you can either power it like this or like this. Doesn't really matter, unlike some designs. Anyway, so once you have that done, you're going to have these redstone torches be connected to some repeaters, which will be going into some blocks that'll have pistons facing inwards, and those pistons will have some redstone torches on top of them. Now, place a block there. Repeater set to 2 ticks, repeater set to 4 ticks, which will be going into a block. Now this block will have some redstone on it, and you need to place a block here. Now this block is essentially going to be powering this piston because this redstone dust is powering the block. Now over here on the back side, you're going to want to place a repeater set to 2 ticks, going into a block. And over here, you will place 2 repeaters set to 4 ticks. So there you go, 2 repeaters set to 4 ticks. Now these will be going into a block with, again, some redstone on it. We will do the same thing on the other side. So repeater connected to this redstone torch, which will be going into a block that will have a piston facing inwards with a redstone torch on top of it. Place a block on top of that redstone torch, and a repeater set to 2 ticks, and a repeater set to 4 ticks. Now these will be going into a block that'll have some redstone dust on it. Next to this redstone dust, place a block. Now over here, you will have a repeater set to 2 ticks, going into a block, and next to this, you will have 2 repeaters set to 4 ticks, which will be going into a block with, again, some redstone dust on top of it. Now down here, you will have a repeater connected to this, going into some blocks, and these 2 blocks, well, they'll essentially just power these 2 pistons. You don't have to build this on the other side, but I am going to keep things perfectly symmetrical. Now, we're going to place the observers involved in building the double piston extenders. So, start off by placing the observer facing upwards, and then one sideways, and then one downwards and one sideways. Over on the back side, on this one that's facing downwards, you will place a block, redstone torch, a repeater coming out of it, and an observer facing upwards. This observer is going to be going into a block with some redstone dust on top of it. We will do the same thing on the other side. So, observer facing upwards, observer facing sideways, observer facing downwards, and an observer facing sideways. Now we will do the same thing that we did earlier, right there. So that observer is going to be going into a block. Make sure you do it with this one and not this one. And that'll have a redstone torch. This redstone torch will be connected to a repeater, and this repeater will have an observer looking at it. The observer again goes into a block with some redstone dust on top of it. Well, there's that. Now, over here, you're going to want to place some redstone dust, a sticky piston facing upwards with an observer facing upwards. And over here, you will have a block with some redstone. Now, this block is connected to both of these sticky pistons, right? Now, on the back side of this piston, we'll have redstone torch and a block, a normal piston, and an observer facing upwards. Now, this will be going into a block, and up here we will have 2 pieces of redstone and a repeater is set to 3 ticks going into a block. Let's do this on the other side. So, redstone dust there, piston here, sticky piston here, observer facing upwards, and when extended will go into this block with some redstone dust on top of it. Place a redstone torch there, with a block on top of it, a normal piston facing upwards. That'll be, and the observer will be taking updates from that piston. Now the observer is going into a block, and on top of that block you'll have and on top of these blocks you'll have 2 pieces of redstone dust and a repeater set to 3 ticks. I need a bow. Where's the bow? Okay, I killed the sheep. Now I can rest and continue with the tutorial. Okay, so once you have that done, you're going to go down here, place a block here, and you will stack up 3 redstone torches and then have 1 on the side. So 1, 2, 3, and here you'll have 1 on the side. No, not there, on the side. There we go. And I just realized I broke it. Anyways, it's actually quite a simple fix, and this is usually the only way in which the door will break. So anyways, now that that's done, place a block on top of that redstone torch, and you can go ahead and place blocks right here and here. So connected to this redstone torch will be the rest of these pistons. So you can just go ahead and do that. And over here on the back, we'll have a redstone torch connected to a sticky piston. That'll have an observer. And here we will have a repeater set to 3 ticks. Now this repeater will be connected to this redstone line. So place in some blocks. Oh, and make sure that the block on top of this is glass or a slab. Okay, well, so place some blocks there. You'll have a repeater set to 4 ticks over here and a repeater set to 1 tick right there. Now it will be going into a block, and this one right here will be going into some redstone dust connected to this piston. In just a second we will add a redstone block to this. Now over here, connected to this repeater, you'll have an observer with a block going into a block, and here you'll have a repeater set to 4 ticks, and this will be going into a block which will also power this. Let's do the same thing on the other side. So stack up 3 torches, so 1, 2, 3, and then place a torch right here. And over here we'll connect everything up, so just like that. Now on the back side you're going to place redstone torch connected to a sticky piston. It'll have an observer, and the observer will be going into a repeater set to 3 ticks. Yeah, okay, I was just double checking that I had done it to 3 ticks on the other side as well. Anyways, so you'll have a small redstone line right here. Make sure you place some glass or a slab right there, and the block here. So this one's set to 1 tick, this one's set to 4 ticks. The one set to 4 ticks is going into a block, and here you will place a sticky piston facing downwards and some redstone dust on top of it. Okay, now have a repeater taking an output from that. No, so have an observer taking output from that repeater, which will be going into a block that will have redstone repeater set to 4 ticks, just like this. Now, believe it or not, guys, that is actually the majority of our door done. Now, all we need to do now is test it, but before we do that, we need to add in our blocks of redstone. Okay, so to test it, you just place your lever there. I prefer to place it on the right side. And here we go. That is the door closed. And that is the opening sequence. And that is it for this tutorial. And I thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all next time. Bye!